Hey, I'm Gordi, and I'm here today on this sweet red couch because I'm guest programming Rage. I'm going to play you a bunch of my favourite songs by Australian artists like Chitra, Gang of Youths, Middle Kids, and just some of my favourite bangers by Miley Cyrus and Grimes and Troye Sivan. So let's get started. Hannah, Tim, and Harry are the three members of one of my favourite Australian bands of all time, the Middle Kids, and they've put out beautiful songs over the course of their career. I toured with them in the US last year, and I think Hannah is one of the best lyricists that we have in Australia. And I love this song that you're going to hear now from their most recent record. It's a song about being able to count on someone in a way where you know that at the end of the party, they're going to be the one helping you pack up and put everything away, and not expect to be thanked in return. It's a song called Stacking Chairs. Next up, we have Run Away With Me by Carly Rae Jepsen from her killer album, Emotion. I think Carly Rae is the queen of cool pop, and I feel like she was kind of the start of a movement where pop music started to become cool again. And as I was making my recent record, like Plasticine, I listened to that record Emotion over and over again, and this song, Run Away With Me, is my favourite. The next song you're going to hear is one of my favourite Australian songs of all time. It's by the band Augie March, and I remember we had this on CD in our house. It was this beautiful kind of embossed maroon cover with this gold symbol in the middle. I actually learnt how to play this song because I had to cover it for some reason recently, and the chords and the lyrics are kind of insane, but it comes together in this beautiful, unforgettable ballad. It is One Crowded Hour by Augie March. Hey, this is Gordi, and you're watching Rage. This next song is King and Cross by Icelandic artist Ásgeir. Ásgeir had a really big moment, particularly in Australia, around kind of 2014 when that record came out. And for me, it was kind of the thing that made me want to fuse folk music and electronic music. It felt like he kind of was mixing these genres in a really fresh way. And I think the conversion of a native Icelandic speaker to English lyrics produces really, really beautiful results. So here it is, one of my favourite tracks of Ásgeir's King and Cross. Next up is Block Party's hit Banquet. I remember being a kid driving with my brother in his old beat-up Corolla, and we would put on, I think it had an aux cord, with one of those old, you put in the cassette and then you can kind of play maybe from an iPod. And he had the song Banquet saved on it, and there's just always this kind of little drum fill that kicks in before every chorus, and he would take his hands off the wheel and we would do it together. I think Block Party have kind of just started touring again because this record maybe has been out for 20 years, Silent Alarm, but this is my favourite song from it. It's called Banquet. So when I was really little, the first album that I ever bought with my own money was Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. I went over to the local Sanity store in Orange near my hometown in the central west of New South Wales, and I saw the album cover there, and it's kind of looks like a hockey player, but I think it might be a soldier in kind of grey with this maroon weapon or stick. And whatever I was going through at the age of 7, 8 or 9 seemed to be really captured by the sort of angst in Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. And I love that record so much that the first time I did a version, I covered their song In the End, which is the song you're going to hear now. Hey, this is Gordi. Thanks for joining me on Rage this morning. I've got an even bigger show planned for tonight with more of my favourite music to show you, so tune in. Hey, I'm Gordi, and I'm going to be hanging out with you for the next little while because I'm guest programming Rage tonight. I'm going to be playing you some of my favourite Australian artists and some of my favourite global bangers and everything in between. So let's get started. Unless you were living under a rock last year, I'm sure you know that Troye Sivan put out an incredible record featuring a song with the sample from Shooting Stars by Bag Raiders. And the video for this song is crazy. It kind of feels like this amazing international feat. Troye kind of dances on camera, I think for one of the first times, and I feel like it was the only TikTok dance that I have ever spiritually connected to. This is my favourite song of his ever. It's Got Me Started by Troye Sivan. You're about to hear a song by my favourite Australian band, and maybe your favourite Australian band, Gang of Youths, and of course it's their song Magnolia. I remember first hearing this song at Big Sound in 2015 at the Zoo, and I was in the audience along with, an absolutely packed house, and Dave was on stage doing All the Single Ladies Dance by Beyonce. He always has such charisma when he's doing his thing, and this is one of the best Australian songs of all time. It's Magnolia. Next up is In My Opinion by Australian artist Chitra. There's so much good music coming out of Australia at the moment, as there always is. And for fans of Julia Jacklin and Stella Donnelly, one of my new favourite artists out of Melbourne is Chitra, and this is her song, In My Opinion. Next up is Ben Lee's Cigarettes Will Kill You. I think Ben is an icon of the Australian music industry, and he's had so many hits throughout his career, but this one holds a special place for me because of the beautiful piano hook that kicks it off and kind of keeps the song company throughout its entirety. So here it is, Ben Lee's Cigarettes Will Kill You. I'm a huge Miley Cyrus fan. In fact, for the second version I covered her Wrecking Ball. But Miley's most recent record I totally fell in love with, and it was one of my favourite video clips I've seen ever. It's basically her around her house in LA, just kind of dancing and doing her thing. At one stage I think she actually starts doing bird dogs, the Pilates move, but she's completely ripped in this video, and the song is incredible. It is Flowers by Miley Cyrus. The next song is Delete Forever by Grimes. This song really takes me back to the pandemic because I became obsessed with it in the middle of 2020 when the world was in lockdown, and it's a really unusual song for Grimes. A lot of her tracks are really kind of techno and beat heavy and sample heavy, and this one is kind of like a punk emo song that, I would have fallen in love with at the age of 15. It shows a really different side of her. There's these beautiful kind of Celtic string arrangements, and it was a song I kept coming back to as I was making my most recent record, Plasticine. So here it is now, Delete Forever by Grimes. Next you're going to hear Please Forgive Me by David Gray. The album that this song was on is called White Ladder, and it really kind of soundtracked my childhood, especially summer holidays up on the Central Coast. He is coming to Australia to play in November, and I'm going to be opening for him, and I can't wait to sit in the audience and hear this song, Please Forgive Me. Hey, this is Gordi, and I'm your guest programmer on Rage right now. We've been hanging together for a little while, but strap in because I got some more bangers to show you. One of my favourite bands growing up was the Dixie Chicks, who are now known as the Chicks. I used to spend my Saturday afternoons on the ride-on lawnmower with the Dixie Chicks albums in my Discman, listening as I would drive around. And their kind of later works I fell in love with as a teenager. And they put out this song as kind of a protest song to President George Bush at the time, and it kind of feels more pertinent than ever. It is Not Ready to Make Nice by the Chicks. Hey, this is Gordi, and you're watching Rage. I hope wherever you are that you're having a good time, or you're holed up on the couch somewhere with a nice little pillow, watching all the songs that I'm programming for you. Hey, this is Gordi. Thanks for hanging with me tonight as I was the guest programmer on Rage. I showed you a bunch of my favourite music videos and songs from around the world, and now I'm going to show you some of mine. Back in 2014, I got my first ever song on Triple J, and so we're going to kick off with that song and the music video where I am but a baby. It's called Nothing's As It Seems. Hey, it's Gordi. You're hanging out with me tonight as I'm guest programming Rage. Hey, I'm Gordi, and my new record, Plasticine, just came out, so I'm going to show you some videos from it right now. This next song is off my new record, Plasticine, and it's called Peripheral Lover. I wrote this song many years ago now, actually, and I kind of never really felt like it was mine for some reason. And then I was tinkering with it as I was finishing this record, and I changed a couple of chords, and suddenly I kind of reconnected to what the song was about and what it meant to me, which is demanding the love that you deserve and not kind of standing on the sidelines of someone's affection. We shot a music video for it in Dallas, Texas, And I had actually hit up this director who I got to know through working with Troye Sivan. Troy and I had written a song called Wait for a film he starred in called 3 Months. And Jared was the writer and director of that film. And it was during a writer's strike in California. And so I texted Jared and I was like, do you want to direct a music video while you're probably not working all that much? And so we flew to Dallas, Texas. And the premise of the video is that I'm dragging around a kissing booth all day, trying to find the love of my life, mostly unsuccessfully. And the video kind of culminates in me having this kind of fever dream where all of these people are hooking up around me and I am still alone. And as we were on our way there, we put out this call on like a queer forum to say, any people who want to come and make out with a complete stranger at 4 o'clock, please show up at this location. And all these people showed up, and as the shoot ended, it was like 45 degrees. We were going back to the airport to fly to LA, and all the queer people who'd met on set that day like went out for drinks and became friends for life. So it was a really sweet experience, and I'm going to show it to you now. It's my new song, Peripheral Lover. You're about to see the video for my song Lunch at June, which is from my new record, Like Plasticine. I wrote Lunch at June in February of 2020 as I was sitting in an Airbnb in London, rapidly watching the world shut down from COVID. I kind of wrote the song about trying to have perspective, and there's nothing like a highly transmissible global virus to give you some of that perspective. So the song kind of sat around on my computer for a couple of years, and I came back to it as I was making this record, and I recorded a bunch of stuff for it with Brad Cook, a friend of mine in Durham in North Carolina. And then I reached out to another friend, Bridie, who performs as the Irish artist Soak. And I said, would you record some vocals for this song? And Bridie sent some vocals back, and then it came time to record a video clip for it. And I flew to Dublin, where Bridie lives, and we shot this video kind of in the woods around Dublin, and ending up at this place called 40 Foot, which is just on the outskirts of Dublin, and it's where Irish people go swimming, often in the dead of winter. We were there in November, so it was really, really freezing, and the video ends with us kind of like in suits, lying face up in the water, and the director had to keep telling me to stop chattering my teeth, and I was like, I'm doing my best here. But here it is, you can see it now. It's Lunch at June. Next up is my new song, Head Rush, from my album, Like Plasticine. The video I shot for this song, I wanted to emulate what the song was about. And the song's about these years of my life that I spent in and out of New York. And it was a really fun but really unsustainable period of time. And it just felt like I was going to combust from something at some point. I think it's a song about learning when it's time to let go, when it's time to grow up against what feels good. And I shot this video mostly by myself on a handycam, running around some parts of Manhattan as I was playing a festival like later that day. And I shot all this footage and I sent it to my friend Maddie Purdy, and I said, can you make this into a video? And that's what she did. So here it is, Head Rush.